farmers are happy. The reason for the happiness of farmers is basically due to the adoption of new technologies in agriculture and allied activities which make it more profitable. Karnataka state has 3 agricultural universities, 1 agricultural and horticultural university, 1 horticultural university, 1 veterinary, animal husbandry and fisheries university. All these universities are continuously and consistently innovating and releasing new technologies for the benefit of farmers and transferring them from lab to land in collaboration with developmental departments. University of Agricultural Sciences Bangalore is the parent university for all the state agriculture and allied universities in Karnataka. In the light of increasing population,
Hello. 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 Hello.
and to keep people free from hunger, there was a need to increase food production. Food security would not have been possible with local varieties, breeds, and technologies. There was a need for high-yielding varieties, improved breeds, advanced technologies, and quality inputs. The state of Mysore was at the forefront in developing innovative agricultural technologies, increases production and productivity of farmers. The genesis of University of Agricultural Sciences Bangalore started with the establishment of experimental farm in 1899 at Hebbal in 30 acres of farmland donated by the then Queen Kempananjamanni of Mysore state. This was upgraded to an agricultural school in 1913 and later into Mysore Agricultural College in 1946 at Hebbal in an area of 202 acres under the leadership of Sir M. Vishveshwaraya, the then Diwan of Mysore state. In 1960, this became
Good morning. Can somebody at the podium listen to hear me?
Ma'am, good morning, Balaji, ma'am.
Good morning. Hi, Balaji.
Yes, ma'am.
All ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You are going to go first,
He said he's not presenting today. So
but I'll be presenting his slides.
Okay.
So I'll be running through his slides so that everybody is introduced to him.
Okay, ma'am.
Can somebody from the podium listen to me? The host?
Ma'am.
Please make me co-host.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
And Balaji SJ, please make him co-host. He has a presentation. And then Nitya Shri would be joining in. She has the third presentation. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Sir, अभी set कर रहे हैं.
Good morning, sir. Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Doshi sir, I've sent you a revised email. Please have a look.
हाँ, देख लिया था.
ठीक है सर.
अभी देखा, बस अभी पहुंचा हूँ ना. बिल्कुल जस्ट अराइव.
आपको बहुत टाइम लग गया पहुंचने में?
1 घंटा लगता है.
Okay.
शुरू में थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन हो गया था ओला में. हेलो डॉक्टर हक.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Surabhi.
Thank you, great.
Please make Balaji and Nitya Shri also co-host.
नहीं मैं कर रहा हूँ. कर दिया.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Nitya Shri.
तो भी कैसा रहा?
हेलो हक साहब.
हाँ, हेलो.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
नहीं, अच्छा वो.
आप बेंगलोर में हैं, दिल्ली में?
हक साहब नमस्ते.
नमस्ते. आप बेंगलोर में हैं, दिल्ली में हैं?
बस सब जगह हैं भैया. और जोशी साहब.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
ब्लॉक में नहीं है आपकी?
Good morning to all of you.
morning.
Kumar, Joshi Saab, Shruti, everyone.
ब्लॉक में नहीं है आपकी?
Morning, sir.
Morning,
नोएडा
Dr.
से
मृत्युंजय साहब.
दिल्ली के. जोशी साहब.
Yes, sir.
आपकी रोड ठीक है नोएडा से दिल्ली आने के लिए?
हाँ, आ गया. 1 घंटा लगा.
नहीं, कौन से रूट से आए?
DND फ्लाईओवर.
वो ठीक है, चल रहा है
चल रहा था. आज तो चल रहा था अभी.
चलो, कल को हमको को जाना है उधर, तो मैं इसलिए पूछा.
अच्छा, खुला था आज तो. अरे वो कल की पता नहीं चलती. यहाँ 1 घंटे में सब गड़बड़ हो जा रहा है. ब्लॉक कर रखे हैं बहुत जगह.
ये सब हक साहब ने गड़बड़ कर रखा है.
हाँ, ये हक साहब का ही है करा धरा सब.
हाँ,
प्राइस बढ़ा के इन्होंने जो है ना
बेकार इनकम बढ़ाने के चक्कर में हो और गड़बड़ करते हो. सब वहीं रहना चाहते हैं जहाँ है.
मृत्युंजय साहब, गुड मॉर्निंग.
Good morning. Good morning. Greetings from here, from me and from the whole team.
Yes.
Have joined the university now. To get connected to you. Because I thought that with the help of a group, I can be much more visible.
इस बार बेंगलोर मिस कर गए, नहीं तो हम फिर एक साथ मिलकर बातचीत करते हैं।
Good morning, Joshi Saab. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Partha.
Good morning, Surabhi. Good morning, Mrityunjay Saab.
Yes, sir. Yes, Partha. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Chief Organizer Saab. Good morning, Siddhyas.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, all, sir.
Good morning, Haq Saab.
Good morning, Parthasarathy ji. How are you?
Fine. Enjoyed your lecture.
Hyderabad now or Bangalore?
No, Hyderabad.
Okay, good.
Hyderabad. Joshi Saab, अकेले पी रहे कॉफी.
आ जाओ आप भी आ जाओ.
अकेले कॉफी पीते हैं, क्या किया जाए?
कॉफी अरेंज करिए सबकी.
ऑनलाइन ऑर्डर कर दो, सबको पहुंच जाएगा.
वैसा नहीं कॉन्फ्रेंस के बाद आपको बिल भेजेंगे. कॉफी, लंच, डिनर सबका बिल भेजेंगे.
बिल्कुल भेजिए.
Nitya, Siddhay speaking. Nitya, send your mobile number.
Okay, sir. Sir, shall I tell?
Chat box you send. Chat box.
Okay.
Personal.
Sir, the second presenter is not here, but he has sent his slides, so I will be just running his slides quickly.
And it's okay, no problem. I think you would be doing, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Because he talked to me as well.
Okay.
And he briefed me that he was looking for somebody to present his slides. He was very uncomfortable, but I said that your career is more important. So therefore, go ahead with
Yes,
trying
sir.
to get a good career there. I think it would be best.
Yes. No, sir, I'll present his slides.
And therefore, I thought that he can either request Nitya or Balaji to do that. But anyway, it's good that you are doing it.
Yes, sir, I'll do that.
Yes, good. So that the people have the advantage of what he was to speak.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Mrityunjay.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. And आपको भी प्रद्युमन कुमार साहब, good morning.
भी नेक्स्ट सेशन इसी में चलेगा ना, कंटिन्यू?
हाँ जी सर, इसी में करेगा, चलेगा.
और एजीएम के लिए दूसरा लिंक है या इसी में चलेगा वो भी?
एजीएम के लिए अलग लिंक है.
अच्छा, अलग भेजा हुआ है?
हाँ जी सर. मैं आपको दोबारा भेजती हूँ.
ठीक है, थैंक यू. ढूंढना नहीं पड़ेगा. नहीं तो मैंने एक उसमें ईमेल में सुरभि का अलग फोल्डर बना दिया है. जो दूसरे जो कैंडिडेट हैं उनका नाम भूल गया मैं. सुरभि, जो दूसरे हैं क्या नाम है उनका?
विश्वजीत देवनाथ.
विश्वजीत. ओल्ड एज के बहुत सारे सिम्टम्स जो है ना आने लगे हैं बिल्कुल.
सर आप लोग तो बहुत एक्टिव हैं.
कोशिश करें।
नेक्स्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस भी वर्चुअल में करिए साहब, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था, बिल्कुल 100% लाइक एनी अदर कॉन्फ्रेंस।
यस,
वर्चुअल कॉन्फ्रेंस।
अब ये सब बन जाएगा नया मोड।
And also it will be
Everybody, वर्चुअल
cost
कॉन्फ्रेंस में
effective.
कोई फर्क नहीं
No
पड़ा।
cost.
No cost.
As much part of the conference as and I think the attendance was also more in the virtual. Attendance भी ज्यादा था।
अटेंडेंस इसमें ज्यादा होने लगी है वर्चुअल में,
क्योंकि वो टेक्निकल सेशन में नॉर्मली 20-30 पीपल से ज्यादा नहीं आते। This time there were 60-70 people were there. Technical sessions.
In meetings also, in meetings also, I can see that attendance is almost 100%. Earlier people, when you have to travel, there used to be excuses, but now.
So even if we have a physical conference, we should have this virtual mode also available. Then more people will be able to attend.
Yeah.
Some will attend virtually, some will come.
उनसे registration ज्यादा ले लेंगे।
हाँ। क्योंकि they are saving lot of.
They are saving lot of money.
But this time, really, these people have organized very well.
Oh, very well. Yes.
Siddhaya and
very right. Very right.
Surabhi, excellent organization.
Very well.
And कहीं भी कुछ problem नहीं आया।
Right. Right. Yes. Yes. No. This is very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mrityunjay sir, shall we start?
Yeah, I think so.
शुरू करें?
जी सर।
मैं कर दूं?
हाँ जी सर।
शुरू करें सर?
Yeah, please.
अभी 43 आए हैं यहाँ पे अटेंडेंस में, वहाँ आ गए उधर हॉल में। डॉक्टर सिद्धैया, we can start.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir.
Good morning.
Raghavendra.
Shall we start, Dr. Siddhya?
Yes, sir. Just 1 second, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now we can start, sir.
Have your mask on. Mrityunjay sir, you should have your mask. You are sitting in a physical space.
Yes.
Sir, please have your mask.
अच्छा, वो बैठे हुए हैं वहाँ पे लोग। Yes, यहाँ कोई नहीं है रूम में।
Yes, sir, please. Oh.
Okay. Good morning, friends. Very good morning to everyone. I'm sure that yesterday was again a very productive day. The 2 distinguished lectures and then technical sessions, I'm sure you may have enjoyed, and those who presented their papers must have done so well. I compliment all of you, and we are really again grateful to our team in Bangalore and from AERA for making these arrangements so well that we are not facing any kind of problem, that as if we feel that we are in Bangalore. So welcome today for our another exciting and very productive day. This session has been started from last year. We realized that this is a very productive session. Our most youngest professionals are making presentation in this session. We call it Awardee session. You know that AERA started one program which is known as Young Agricultural Economist Award. That last year we have given, and this year again we have given this award. And another is we have a tie-up with the American Society of Agricultural Economics, AERA and the American Society of Agricultural Economics, where Dr. Uma Lele has provided some funds. It is known as Uma Lele Mentorship Program, and the person goes to US, some university, and do some good work. Last year, I am very happy that Dr. Balaji was selected, and he went to US. He opted International Food Policy Research Institute. He worked with Dr. Suresh Babu, one of my very good colleagues, and Dr. Balaji produced very good output out of it. We are very happy, and we compliment Dr. Balaji for that good work he has done. So this year, friends, we have it was we have received lots of applications for the Young Agricultural Economist Award. It was very difficult to select who is outstanding or who is best. So all were outstanding. For our reviewers, it was very difficult to take a decision. So our executive committee yesterday night decided that let us give first two persons this award, agricultural economist, Young Agricultural Economist Award. So this award is being given this year to Dr. Balaji, who is a scientist at NCAP. Dr. Balaji, congratulations to you for your
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
work. This makes you more, you have more responsibility now. You have to demonstrate that yes, you deserve it, and you have to strive for more awards. So we wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Dr. Balaji will be making good presentation today. And another award was to Dr. Biswajit Devnath. He is from Atari Northeast. He has a very outstanding career so far. I'm sure that with this award, he will further improve his career in years to come. And I compliment him. Unfortunately, he's not able to join because his interview is on at same time at ASRB. For this Uma Lele mentorship program, we just recommend from here, and finally it is being approved by American Society of Agricultural Economics. So last year we have Dr. Nitya Shri was given. Nitya, congratulations to you. But unfortunately, Nitya could not go because of this COVID. And we have already written to them that all the candidates who were selected for 2019 or for 2020, they will go to in 2021 to US. So Nityasri, compliments to you again, and I'm sure that you will also do good work there in the place you have already identified. So our best wishes to you, and I encourage all our young professionals, young colleagues to do good research, make these young professionals your role model, and complement your research and discuss with them, interact with them, so that you also do these kinds of work and apply for these awards. So we have and I'm requesting all of you, the senior people also, to please make it give it a wide publicity and encourage your young colleagues to apply for these awards. So today, friends, we have this session will be chaired by a very distinguished scholar, Dr. Mrityunjay. He is like a mentor for all of us, a very wonderful agricultural economist. Dr. Mrityunjay retired as National Director, National Agriculture Innovation Project, which was a World Bank funded project. Dr. Mrityunjay was also Director of NCAP, For 5 years, he was heading that position and tried his best to transform NCAP to a new frontiers. He was also Assistant Director General, Agriculture Statistics, Marketing, and Economics, and where he was really supporting all the agricultural economists throughout India. A very well-known economist in India and abroad, and very good friends also, a mentor, friend, advisor, philosopher. So several, no, several things goes to him. So Dr. Mrityunjay, thank you very much, sir, for joining this meeting and accepting our request to chair the session. Now over to you, sir.
Sir, unmute kar.
You are mute, I think.
Thanks for Joshi for those complimentary words on me, and I thank profusely AERA for and US Bangalore team for giving me this opportunity to share this very exciting session where our young agricultural economists under 2 awards would be making their presentation of their the promising works which they have started in their professional journey or would be starting soon in a more intensive way subsequently to build their career. And as you have rightly said, awards and recognitions come with responsibility. And I think they are the right people to understand that point, that it comes with responsibility, and therefore they would perform much more well, so that they would be kind of an inspiration to the whole group who would be ahead of them or working along with them. So I think I have a great pleasure in welcoming all of you. I also joined Dr. Joshi, Dr. Surabhi to this session. This is just 45 minutes, and I request the speakers to confine to, because there would be a presentation, 3 presentations, one by Surabhi on behalf of Bishwajit Debnath, who has expressed his inability to attend on account of some reasons. So therefore, she would be making a presentation, but Balaji and Nityashri would be making it. So I think, if they can make their presentation about 10 minutes,
yes,
that would be most welcome. I think that that can give us some breathing space for some queries if pressing, or else they would be answering those questions through mail or through telephone when they get time. So I think with these words, and again, I'm thankful to all of them to give me this opportunity. Now, I think these 3 awardees, as Dr. Joshi has introduced, are really have made kind of a shown their promise, and therefore they got awarded. And therefore, we would be looking for their presentation as to how their career has started, which at the initial stage itself gets an award. I think this is a lesson to all our youngsters to shape their career likewise. Therefore, they would be forerunners to a future of this great association, to build it further in terms of both depth and width. So therefore, I would now invite Dr. Balaji to say what his main contributions, which possibly, according to him and as it was, got this prestigious Young Agricultural Economist Award, as compared to many who are equally competent, but he could have an edge in getting this. So therefore, kindly see that your 10 minutes are used so productively, so that you would not be missing that what we have to get. So so that we would immediately make an assessment, yes, it is the most right choice, in selecting you. So therefore, the ball is in your court to impress further this group and the whole audience to see that you are the best, among these people. Okay, so the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Chair of this session, Honorable President AERA, and Honorable Conference President and distinguished scholars. A very good morning to all, and thank you very much for the opportunity for sharing my works in front of the gathering. Much of my earlier works had been in the areas of macroeconomic side of agriculture. It began with explaining what is agricultural growth, how it is differing between the states, and then what is non-farm employment and how it has got linked with agriculture. Then what are its implications on rural poverty? And obviously the other side was my involvement in doubling farmers income project at the NIAP with my team, and as a co-coordinator of the network project on structural transformation from NIAP. And recently I'm involved in modeling agriculture related policies. Other than that, impact assessment of few technologies and climate change is my subsidiary focus area. The major area of my research began from AERA, where Dr. Suresh Pal sir was my chairman, and his idea was to work on agricultural growth, rural non-farm employment, and poverty in India. The assignment for me was to establish a linkage among them and quantitatively estimate their linkages and outcomes. The process began with the question of why some states are growing very well in agriculture very fast and some are lagging behind. We can see Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Odisha, they are growing very fast. And West Bengal, Kerala, Punjab, their productivity is very high, but they are growing smaller, less than 2%, we can say. What was the major reason for this? That was the first question in my thesis. And using this Robert Solo's neoclassical approach based on the return to investment concept, the convergence concept was applied, and this was published in Economic and Political Weekly during 2015. And this was my first research paper from my PhD. My further works included how to trace whether there are any structural breaks in yield of major crops. Almost 14 crops and crops groups I have chosen during this PhD time, and to see whether is there any plateau, and simultaneously whether the CAGR based growth is valid or not, or which is more, whether it is linear is good. That was the query. The result was growth is linear, it's not a compounding type. And for presenting this at the Indian Society of Agricultural Economics during the 2015, I received a best research paper presentation award for this structural break. And in development literature, there is a debate, some sort of debate that rural non-farm employment has a negative effect on agriculture because it's taking the labor from agriculture to the industries. But we studied the pattern for about 2 decades, starting from 94 to 2012. What we saw is almost every state have expanded their rural non-farm employment. And positively, there is no any negative impact on agriculture. In some states, there was no relation. In some states, there are positive relations, but there is no negative relation which says expanding rural non-farm employment is not going to hamper agriculture. And this is the main source of reinvestment for farmers also. But there are huge disparity when it comes to district level estimates. Using NSS 11-12 unit level data, district level rural non-farm employment we have derived, and after plotting what we saw is the central Indian region, the expansion is very slow. My major work or assignment was to establish a linkage between agricultural growth, rural non-farm employment, and poverty. There were huge literature in some sort of partial in nature, either impact of agriculture on poverty or non-farm employment on poverty, or agriculture and non-farm employment, how they are linked. But there was no unified framework to explain all the three. My inspiration was from Shengan Fans and their team's paper on agricultural economics during 2008. focus was to establish whether investment is good or subsidy is good in agriculture. Having some idea from there, our team tried to establish linkages among all these three major concepts. The result was interesting. Where the result was when if we are adding 1,000 rupee more per hectare in agriculture, the multiplier effect on productivity is 6.4 times. Means if we increase 1,000 rupees per hectare, agri productivity will increase by 6,400 rupees per hectare in real terms, 2004-5 prices. And when this productivity is increasing, its poverty impact was very well. When productivity is going up for 1,000 rupees, poverty comes down by 0.14. So if we combine investment and productivity part, the final result will be if government investment is increasing by 1,000 rupees per hectare, poverty will decline by 1% on an average. That was one major outcome. And the other part is within the rural regions, if labor are choosing to work in agriculture because of the supply effect, agricultural wages will come down by 2%, 2 rupees per day. Instead of that, if they are choosing rural non-farm sector, and because of this demand effect, plus non-farm sector influences agricultural wages, this results in an increase in agricultural wages by 4 rupees per day. So this is in some way bad for agriculture, bad for farmers in terms of meeting their costs. But when it comes to poverty reducing effect, this increase in agricultural wages are having a very huge impact. This was the major outcome from my PhD thesis. After joining NCAP, the research domain expanded. From growth, it became transformation to see employment and all governance related variables. Then in doubling farmers' income, I was part of the project. Rural non-farm income continued. Also, I was involved in impact assessment of agricultural research and development, plus climate resilience part in agriculture. And I would say in the transformation part, the modeling has been fully expanded to include government subsidies, private investment behavior, and the role of diversification. Major concentration was again for refining the multipliers. The estimate seems to be very robust. In PhD, that was covering from 2001 and to 11 or 12, where the public investment multiplier was 6.4. When the period was extended from 2005 to latest 2018-19, the investment multiplier has slightly increased from 6.4 to 6.7, which means government investment is going to create additional returns than the past. That was one major outcome. And diversification has a very huge impact on agricultural productivity. But in other side, this increasing public investment is crowding out the private investment from farmer side. The latest observation is like if government is going to invest, farmers are going to reduce the investment. The net effect may be something different. That is one. The other major observation: public and private investment has a crowding out effect. But public investment and subsidies are going on the same line, mostly because of public investment is on irrigation, subsidies is usually on fertilizer and electricity related subsidies. So they both are going on the same way. The three major outcomes: one is on public and private investment multiplier. Investment multiplier for private is very high, so that this says credit expansion to the farmer has to be expedited. Second, public and private investment have a crowding out effect. They are negative in relation. Third, subsidy and government investment will go side by side. From the doubling farmers' income, NCAP was almost mainly, they were entirely involved in producing volume one, which is devising key strategies for achieving doubling farmers' income. There was also participation in other two reports, 8th and 14th reports. In my major contribution in terms of DFI project is to analyze how this food consumption pattern is changing over time within rural and urban regions, within food and food versus non-food. Second is what is happening to rural poverty at an aggregate level when growth is going up. We divided 3 or 4 segments from 80 to so far. And what do we see is whenever agriculture growth is going up, rate of poverty decline is faster. And we can say in 1990s, growth was little slow during the deceleration time. Rate of poverty reduction was also slow. After 2005, the agricultural growth picked up and the rate of poverty decline was also very faster. We can see in Maharashtra, Odisha, Bihar, we can see this pattern very clearly. And I was also involved in assessing yield gaps for few crops in few major states and their seed use, and what is the relationship between higher credit delivery and indebtedness. Because in southern state we say credit delivery, credit outstanding is very high. At the same time, indebtedness is also very high. In eastern region, we say the access to credit is low. At the same time, indebtedness is also low. Those sort of statistics was from my contribution. Other than the convergence and structural breaks paper, few contributions I want to mention here is in terms of assessing direct seed raise technology. We found it can save the irrigation cost up to 16% with some marginal increase in yield. And at the right side, I took a case of gram and arhar in major states to devise what can be the strategy for doubling income by 2022. It was presented in NAM. I'm happy, sir. Dr. Mrityunjaya was chair for that session also. I'm happy to present second time in front of him. The observation was if MSP or farm harvest price is increasing by 10% each year, along with certain rate of reduction in yield gap, it's possible in terms of gram and RR to double the farmer's income by 2022 in real terms. And the fourth was I was to mention was to go for a spatial econometrics based analysis to identify clusters of districts which are surrounded by high income, and there are some more regions where low income districts in agriculture are surrounded by low income. That's the part of the focus was like many a times state specific approach is followed for doubling. Otherwise, crop specific approach can be also be followed. But here in this spatial econometrics technique, what they show is they precisely show where is the poor clusters or where is the high income cluster. So we can focus our strategies based on that. And that was presented in ISAE conference. Other than the research contribution, there are certain policy briefs mainly focusing on transformation. And during my PhD time, I was also got an opportunity to contribute with Dr. Pal and team in Dr. C. Ramaswamy's book on agricultural growth. There again, our contribution was on transformation. I could able to publish few articles in newspapers, but in English I couldn't do. There was less response. But in Tamil, I attended 3 or 4, and this was based on PM Kisan. My opinions on PM Kisan. It was interesting. When we received 2-3 letters from farmer associations saying that what you are saying is not right. Only partially you are saying truth. That was some of it is informative, but it's interesting as well. There was also policy brief on climate change. In DFI also we have a policy brief. For the structural break part during 2015 best presentation award I got during ISA conference at PAU. In 2018 during AERA conference at Karnal, RT Doshi award was given per presentation, mainly for explaining farmers are paying wages more than the productivity of agricultural laborers, mainly because of the competition from non-farm sector. When we estimate agricultural laborers' contribution in terms of value and compare with the farm wages, wages are very high. Means farmers are incurring more cost and getting less benefits. For that, I received a DT Doshi Award. Also during 2018, Umalele Mentorship Award also I received, and thank you AERA for that. The major, the proposal was again to inquire, to go little deeper into the structural transformation, how it is increasing in income and welfare in terms of inequality. Recently, within the Umalele mentorship program, last year for about a month, I was staying in DC, and these are 2 outcomes as of now. This in the second one, what we did is we wanted to see the linkages between agricultural research and policy system. We took a parliamentary questions and we took a set of articles from IJE and AERA. Using machine language, we tried to compare whether agriculture research and policy is going in the same line. And we saw there is a very good linkage. There is a bidirectional information flow. What the research system is generating, the policy system is reacting accordingly. And what the policy system is demanding, research mean we are producing more research what the government is need. that sort of relation is very well established. The first part was to see how agricultural productivity and structural change is contributing to national growth, overall national productivity growth for all 20 different states individually. For about 3 decades it was done. In future, again, I wanted to continue in macroeconomic part. Mostly, I wish to go for estimating commodity-specific multiplier effect so that we can see which crop is creating more benefit that can be promoted in a suitable region. In the second, when we are going to increase investment, as of now, we know overall productivity multiplier, but how much small farmer will get, how much marginal farmer will get, this sort of inequality or equality-based effects can be done. Second, I want to go for is to compare the benefits of income transfer and investment, because resources same from government. Either they can directly give for a farmer, otherwise they can keep investing in irrigation and infrastructure, which is going to create more benefit. And in terms of land holding classes, who is going to gain much? That will be the second focus. And third is I want to see how far this import substitution is possible and how this the positive spillovers will reach farm category, because always there are scarcities for edible oil. Our production, edible oil seed production is always below the norm. If some sort of simulation I want to carry out, if we will able to raise the oil seed production by 10 or 15%, and we transfer this to oil processing industries, how much we can reduce the edible oil import and what will be the price gains to the farmers. And this is all about to share with you. And I take this opportunity to thank everyone, my AERA conference president, chair, main importantly ICR, NIAP and AERA, my entire advisory team and entire fraternity. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Balaji. I think it was a very good presentation. As expected, that thing you delivered. Now, it was very much focused, and I think you could summarize, in nutshell, contributions, possibly demonstrating that the award given to you is really something which would help you to build your career in the focus areas in future. I think you have built a strong foundation for research in macroeconomics, issues impinging on agricultural development issues. I think it's very wonderful area of contribution, which is often said by Mahendra Dev, that agricultural economists normally do not relate macroeconomic issues with the micro or agricultural issues. So therefore, I think you are entering into a very promising and very much required area of research. And I think I am not going to summarize what you have said, because a lot of things you have talked about, they're all very important to us, very topical issues you have explored, and then your future focus is also in that line. I think we have all best wishes for you to get more awards and then more recognitions, and therefore contribute as much as you can to the agricultural economic research profession, as well as to the issues that are lying ahead. So with these, I congratulate you profusely for your contributions and this presentation. So thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So
Balaji,
we can move on to the next slide. I think we can invite questions if some at the end of the session. I think so that I don't know, you would be taking stock of how much time is left, because the next session is also lined soon after. So therefore, let us you just hold on to your questions. Some questions you have received, which we would be taking it up in case if time permits. But let us move on to the next presentation, which would be by Surabhi on behalf of Bishwajit Debnath, who is yet another young agricultural economist who got this award, and therefore Surabhi would be making an attempt, because since Debnath has shared his slides, she would be doing so that we will not be missing what Debnath has to tell. So therefore, Surabhi, please.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I asked him to give more about his accomplishments, because I would not be competitive enough to explain his research work. But at least the audience, the participants will be able to understand that what he has progressed in his career and why he was seen as an important candidate for the Young Agriculture Economist Award. So Dr. Biswajit Devnath is with ICR KVK South Tripura. We can see his picture here so that once later somebody meets him, then recognize him. And he has a 14 years of experience as an extension specialist in the frontline extension. And he specializes in fisheries business management, aquaculture economics, fish marketing and price analysis, fish consumption pattern, and aquaculture resource economics. He has earlier also received several other awards, but along with his extension specialist activities, he had been extensively publishing in journals, and we can see that he has 36 research papers, of which most of them are in NAS rating journals of 5 and above. And he has other 58 publications. He has been coordinating 14 projects as his official assignment. He has worked in Northeast region, which is a hotspot of diversity. And in most of our policy discussions, we often say that we need to look east. And I think his work in that area, when we get more closely to interact with him, we will be able to see exactly what his work has focused on. But he has focused on Tripura, where he's based, but he's looking into fishery and aquaculture. And what amazed me most is being at a KVK, to be able to do projects, research, and publication is something which needs an additional motivation to be able to accomplish that kind of career. His core area of research had been state level analysis on fish marketing and price analysis. At state level, he has done fish consumer behavior economics, which is in the past, very few authors within India have been have published in this area. He has experience on working on the microeconomics level of resource economics of fishery-based enterprises, and then economics of aquaculture and IFS. Within his fish marketing and price analysis projects, where he acknowledges Professor P. Kumar for his past work on fish demand, he had done short-term projections for Tripura on fish demand. He has done fish marketing profiling for Tripura, adoption of hygiene practices in fish markets in Tripura, and fish price behavior during the lockdown, which is in publication. And he has been able to collect some data of how the price behavior has changed or got impacted because of the COVID pandemic. His fish consumer behavioral economics work concentrated on Northeast region for fish consumption pattern, quantitative studies on consumer preferences for fish, constraint analysis on consumption, and then also on the marketing side to look into the consumer behavior at the retail outlets. His resource economics, where he acknowledges Professor S.K. Datta from IIM Ahmedabad on a novel methodology of resource cost ratios. Then he has done 9 case studies which were conducted in understanding the fish-based enterprises. He's worked on the economics of aquaculture in the aspect of technical efficiency, benefit cost analysis of farming, and resource use efficiency. And along with it, he has comprehensive district agriculture plan he has developed. He has also developed resource support system for fisheries. And on the frontline extension-based projects, he has been working on NABARD-funded projects on women participation in backyard pond agriculture, and also training and demonstration projects for different projects, including ICR, NFSM, and RKYP, and PKVY, Pradhan. Yeah, I'm sorry. And he wants to finish his slide saying that farming is not just a job, it's a way of life. So thank you, sir.
I think you have done a good job, in presenting it so that people would be getting a glimpse of this young star who is, who has a long innings to contribute to agricultural economics. In fact, as you have noticed, I had the privilege to nominate him for this award. Somehow he got a inclination that I should nominate, and therefore he approached me. I said that I would do it, but when I saw his biodata and his contributions, I was thrilled that such a young fellow working in a remote corner of the country with all those odds and working in a extension KVK setup, he is looking at the sky as the limit. I think I was amazed. I said that he's a spark. That if at all we all give him support, he would shine in the sky, like a star. So therefore, I am pleased to see his slides also in the sense commensurate with what his biodata reflected. Of course, he sent me everything, but I just saw his biodata in brief, and I was so much impressed that I was immediately made up my mind that I should nominate with my best wishes, and I am happy that he got this award, and I congratulate AERA for identifying such people and awarding them. I think AERA is equally to be congratulated for maintaining its standard of support and inspiration to the youngsters. So therefore, I am extremely happy that his presentation also matches with his expectations and in life. And I'm already he told that I'm appearing for an associate professor level post today, sir. I am missing because I wanted to share my work with the agricultural economic fraternity. I am missing it, but definitely excuse me. And I would be interacting with anybody if you have some questions or anything, so that I would be clarifying them. So therefore, kindly contact him. I think the contact details would be provided by Surabhi. I don't have his contact details at this moment, but definitely if you have some questions about his work or his his plans for the future, so kindly contact him. But he is an important, very interesting person to watch by all of us. And then whenever you get an opportunity to support him, and similarly support others who are showing promises. I think that's how we can further build this profession and era. So with these words, I again profusely thank Vishwajit and also thank Surabhi for having given an opportunity for the audience to get a glimpse of what Vishwajit is. Okay, thanks. Now let us move on to the last presentation. And I think with the time availability, and Nityashri, I request you to adjust. If you have luxury of enough time, you do that, use it. I don't know how much time is left, Surabhi. No, it is 10:47 already. I think we have crossed it. But
Sir,
anyway,
we have time because the plenary is going to continue and we can spare time. We have time. The only deadline is we need to finish our plenary also by 11:30. So we can have another 5-10 minutes.
Okay, Nityashri, please go on, and please go ahead. I think I don't think that I would come in your way of making presentation because you are at another important person in the profession. So therefore, we are looking forward for a bright future of you in this profession.
Thank you, sir. So my slides are visible?
Yes.
Good morning, respected chair, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, AERA, for giving me this opportunity. I will be making presentation regarding the work which I am working under this Umalile Mentorship Award. Research work I proposed and presently working for this award is on foreign direct investment and productivity spillover of food processing industry in India under the guidance of my chairperson, Dr. Suresh Pal sir, and Dr. Gopinath Muniswamy sir. He is a co-hosting mentor for this award. He is a distinguished professor of agricultural marketing at University of Georgia. Before getting into the rationale of the study, it's important to know why FDI and spillover is matters. We all know that in 1950s, in the neoclassical model of international trade, FDI is included as one of the important component, but it's only after the Asian debt crisis, apart from having an investment source, it is considered as one of the important determinant of economic growth. Other direct benefits would be employment generation, trade and tax revenue in short run. But what is more important for developing nation in the context of FDI, that is in India, is the productivity gain from transfer of technology in the long run. We oftenly refer to it as spillover. In fact, authors refer spillover is a starting point for modern and advanced technology transfer across the border. Very quickly, in a simplistic way, productivity spillover is the benefit accrued to the domestic firm from the foreign entity. For that, domestic firms will not pay any additional cost. So FDI policy journey in the India indicates in 1970s and 80s, it followed a conservative and dual approach where FDI is more liberalized towards high technology industries like IT, automobile. It is only after Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999 where dual approval was started and the removal of restriction of FDI in low technology has started. Here comes the important role for food processing industry, because food processing industry is considered as a very low technology intensive according to the international industry classification. And presently we have 100% FDI is allowed in this food processing industry, particularly from automatic route. So this gives a lot of institutional leverages for the investors to come and invest in this sector. So very quickly, the FDI statistics in India says that food processing industry is in 13th position of securing of investing 2% of the total FDI amount invested in India. But if we see the trend of the FDI as a sector specific itself, it has it could able to attract about $900 million of foreign direct investment. It is a huge amount. Since we are talking about the automatic route, we can see from this table around 65% of the FDI comes from automatic route. So this necessitates us to understand whether this investment is really going to bring spillover effects in food processing sector in India. What are the evidences available? In a very quickly, I would like to sum up this slide. In a very recent survey, Rozak and Nils said the last 30-year empirical literature said that, or it has produced mixed empirical results, and there is no conclusive relationship to say productivity spillover and FDI happens in a certain way. So there are country specific, cross country analysis, sector specific studies are there, but this indicates spillover is not going to happen in all the sector, or if it is happening also, it is not in a similar way. One key message, all these studies indicated that a spillover is conditioned to the absorptive capacity of the country. It may be in terms of initial level of technology, human capital stock, a trade policy. Likewise, the characteristic of the host country is a matter to absorb the spillover. There are different channels in which where we get a FDI to be happen. Majorly, there could be a possibility of increasing competition, or there is a possibility of imitation that can bring spillover within the industry. We can call it as a horizontal spillover, or it can generate backward forward linkage where we get a vertical spillover. One more important channel is through human capital, maybe through migration or changing a firm or starting a new venture. So these are all the possible ways we can expect a spillover to be happen. So after incorporating these, and the recent studies incorporates these channels to study the overall effect of spillover. So what we can understand in food processing sector after reading the reviews, that FDI into the food manufacturing sector indeed has different consequences, because the first is of course the productivity gain. Second is improvement in the quality. That is what even Indian context we are looking for improving quality of processed food to have competitive edge in international trade. A couple of studies indicates that having a foreign affiliates do benefit. For instance, Polish dairy industry from the farm assistant program, they have benefited in terms of investment and also in terms of milk quality improvement. Indonesian food industry says they have a positive spillover. A very recent literature for the Chinese food industry says they have a benefit in terms of spillover, but through vertical linkage, and they don't they don't exhibit any horizontal spillover. So, keeping all these things, we culled out data from various resources, various ministries, mainly from Annual Survey of Industry, CMIE, RBI, DIPP. So we used techniques like total factor productivity by Leviston and Petrin. This is a semi-parametric method where it accounts for endogeneity. And to estimate spillover, we follow the literature and constructed a panel data setup where our coefficients here, the beta 5, beta 6, 7, 8, 9 are important for us. Since it is ongoing research work, this is a very preliminary results I am presenting here. I would like to say that we have a tendency of having a forward spillover, and within the industry, there is a sign of positive spillover through imitation and skill, but we have a negative effect of competition. So this could be a reason where the initial level this industry may suffer because of the existence of foreign companies. Since still we are working on this area and still we have to bring some robustness to this analysis, we are not concluding any results out of this study. This is all about the research work I am presently doing under this mentorship program. Apart from this, the award also facilitate awardee to attend annual meeting. Last year, annual meeting was held in virtual mode. So I'm participated in that and fortunate to present my work in the form of poster presentation, which again a complementary work for this, where it talks about investment efficiency, where I used a 4-stage DEA model to say what is the level of investment and what are the different correlates which help us to determine the investment efficiency. Before thanking, it's my duty to acknowledge Dr. Umalile ma'am, AERA, AEA, Director of AERA and NIA, my chairperson, and more importantly, Dr. Gopinath sir, for providing me an opportunity to work with him, and heads, colleagues, divisions of my own institution for their constant guidance and support. At the end, I would like to say thanks to AERA, Gandhi Krishi Vignan Kendra, for providing this opportunity to share my research work with all of you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Nityashri. As you can see, it was yet another great innings by Nitya. And I'm again, as each one of you must have made up your mind that, and I think it was yet another important selection or award which AERA has got, and then inspired and promoted or supported a work that has long run future for this country, agro-processing. I think Nityashri's work would remain relevant for some more years, and therefore it would build a strong foundation to provide the economics base for support to agro-processing sector. So therefore, it is important that way, and therefore, Nityashri, that congratulations to you. It's a great work that you have started doing, and you have future plans to further strengthen this area of work. And we all wish that you would succeed, and then would become an international kind of a inevitable expert in this area, so that your expertise would be sought everywhere. Now, since we have already crossed the time, I think I'm not going to summarize your works. They are so rich works that people have already got a glimpse of them. And I just tempted to, because this is for the young people who would be inspired by these three examples. These are all only just examples. I don't think that AERA can claim that we have covered all such sparks in the profession. I think there are many of them, but at least we have selected those samples to show a model to our youngsters, that I think if they have some features which I am just formalizing for the benefit of the group. I may be wrong, but at least I'm tempted to make that kind of a summarization of the features of these people. Who are these people who can make a mark in life and professional life? One, to me, I kindly excuse me if I'm wrong, but I'm tempted to do this, because to see that more and more such sparks would come through in agricultural economics, and we would be reaching the sky. One, of course, which fascinates anybody who would be looking at them in detail, rich biodata. Their CV, I think it's very, very, very commendable. That means a strong knowledge foundation in them. The second point, which I could able to see through their all activities and then work, aspiration, the hunger for knowledge. I think this is another feature that is very important to move in life. The third one, selection of a challenging topic, challenging field of work. Many times we get lost in the most easiest way to do, because hard work is always resisted, both by the guide as well as the student. But if we can able to venture into such virgin fields where sky is the limit, possibly we can marvel, we excel in any area. This is the third feature I would see that I can find in these people. Then very rich toolbox. They have knowledge of a very good toolbox, which is essential for us to shine in life, professional life, in particularly agricultural economics. So therefore, their toolkit is very rich. The next one is their seriousness and sincerity. I think this is another wonderful feature that all of them have, to my best of my knowledge. The next one is foresight of a future for consolidation of gains, which are already made, extension of gains into other areas in that particular area. The last one, of course, don't forgetting making new gains in this area. I think these are the three areas where they're very clear. Their foresight is very, very clear. I think I am impressed, and I am benefited again at another time to see that we have a bright future. Agricultural economic research profession has a bright future, because we have youngsters who can enrich it further beyond what we could do. I think with this, I am again grateful to AERA and the Bangalore team for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this awardee session. And then I would congratulate everyone. Of course, these three people who have played so well, and therefore I wish them they can play many more such innings in their life, so that they would shine, continue shining. So thanks.
Thank you, sir.
So as we conclude this session, sir, thank you so much for chairing this session and very briefly summarizing and motivating the young professionals to do much better in future to everyone. Thank you so much. And I also congratulate both Dr. Balaji and Dr. Nityashri for their excellent presentation. And I'm very happy that Dr. Surbhi made a presentation on behalf of Dr. Vishwajit. So I compliment their contribution. We are so happy to see their contribution. And as Dr. Mrityunjay shared that take up the new challenges, have strong skills in toolbox in policy analysis. So with this, we conclude this session. Thank you so much, sir, again for accepting and always guiding all of us to and strengthening AERA and its activities. Thank you so much. So now we move to our next session. It's a plenary session. The plenary session will be chaired by Conference President Dr. T. Haq, former chairman of CACP and also chairman of the Land Reform Commission in the Niti Aayog. You know that Dr. Haq has given an outstanding presidential address, raised various issues in agriculture sector. Dr. Haq, the 2 days presentations of in different technical sessions were excellent. Dr. Survi Mittal will be making a brief summary of the whole conference, and then you can also take your own analysis on that one. So I will hand over to you, sir, Dr. Haq, to conduct this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. I think we're about to be closing this whole conference in the sense hardly there is any session left. This is the plenary session, and just to discuss or summarize the recommendations of the 2 days conference. And after that only you have your GB meeting. So anyway, I won't like to waste any more time because already you are late. I will request Surabhi to make her presentation on the recommendations. Surabhi.
My screen is visible?
Yes, yes, okay. Yes, Surabhi.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here to present the draft key recommendations that we have seen in the last almost of our conference. The purpose of these recommendations is to give a gist of what has happened in different technical sessions and plenary sessions of the conference. But also these key recommendations are submitted to Niti Aayog, ICR and NABARD, and therefore they hold very important relevance of AERA's conference and AERA's work's contribution to the policy making. So the theme of the conference this year had been the future of Indian agriculture, challenges and opportunities. And since India is going through a rapid transformation in terms of either per capita income, growing urbanization, dietary diversification and policy reforms, this environment also provides an opportunity to unleash the potential of the agriculture sector because the reforms provide a platform to do it. And therefore, this conference was meant to have a deliberation around these challenges and possible solutions. We started the conference with pre-conference workshops. There were 3 capacity building workshops that happened. First one was organized by IFRI, which was on advances in tools and techniques. There were around 100 participants during this workshop. There were presentations on telephonic field surveys experiments, field service practices that had happened, impact evaluation using of DID methodology, and market assessments and price policy in Indian agriculture. The second workshop was organized by AERA, where Dr. P.K. Joshi gave tips for writing good journal articles and other publications. And then the third session was organized by ICRISET under their flagship program of CGIAR research program on grain, legumes, and dryland cereals, where we were all exposed to the rich district level data, village level data that exists, and household panel data that they have extended up to 2015, which is available open access for all the researchers to use it. In total, we had 6 technical sessions. We received around 64 papers, of which 145 were accepted to be accepted either as presentations or as full-length papers or abstracts. This year, since we were doing virtual conference, we had limited time slots to make presentations. So based on the evaluators ranking, only few papers were given the time slots to make presentations, but in terms of summary, 145, either in full length or summary, the draft agriculture AERA volume has 145 papers, of which 72 were presented under 6 different technical sessions. These technical sessions were also very well participated. On an average, every technical session had 30 to 45 participants at any point of time. So I'm just providing a brief summary of these technical sessions, and these summaries are mainly in the effort of the reporters that were there during all the sessions, and within a couple of hours, they sent me all the things which I tried to compile together and put in here. The first session on agribusiness and value chains, it showed, it is being said that combining crop activities with animal husbandry is very important to create a strong value chain into the rural economies. There were several papers on agricultural startups, which is very new topic that was presented this year at the conference. And it was said that startups can flourish beyond the metropolitan cities. And innovative startups can also evolve from smaller cities for better performance. This also matches to the ideology of bringing the processing units closer to the rural areas to reduce the cost of production and transportation, and also creating employment in the non-farm rural setups. Also, it was said that the startup employing technology-based devices has been seen, which helps in improving efficiency of the agricultural production and operational systems. And managerial experience and technological innovations play a key role in getting these startups in the value chain. So this is a lot of papers focused about how to strengthen the value chains using new technologies, using the startup aspects. And I think there are a lot of funding that is going to startups through Niti Aayog and other big funding agencies. There was a clear voice that strengthening value chains through innovations, development of FPOs, women collectives, and natural resource management definitely needs to be scaled up. The second technical session was on enhancing farmers' income, and it is said that farming can be made remunerative by reducing cost of production, but reducing cost of production through subsidies will not be sustainable. Can be financial deficit issues for the government of India, which will impact our macro indicators. And therefore, we need to see how the cost of production can be reduced, which is largely through efficiency. Then attention to give rural development and industrial policies to strengthen socioeconomic situation and livelihood is the way to farm incomes. The non-farm entrepreneurships should be given should be enhanced. They should be supported, and the non-farm rural employment is the way forward for sustainable household incomes and increasing livelihoods. Direct benefit transfers and digitalization has definitely helped the farmers, and this is definitely more evident during the COVID time, because farmers who were connected, who had bank accounts, who had digital connectivity, they were able to get the benefits of direct transfers from the government programs. There still exists large wage disparity between men and women, which needs to be looked into through more research papers and through government programs and policies, because there are several households which are women-headed households, and it is important to have an inclusive growth even for those households. And definitely COVID-19 pandemic has affected, we all have seen that there had been a reverse migration, which has adversely impacted lots of migrants and daily wage earners from the big towns going back to the rural areas. And that's an area which has maybe created a dip in the incomes of these households who were partly dependent on farming, but largely dependent on urban incomes. And this is an area that needs to be seen as an area of research and also policy interventions. The third session was on food and nutritional security. And the synthesis in this section talked about production diversity has a comparative higher influence in diet diversity of farmers. Crop diversification and undernourishments are inversely related. And therefore, public distribution system needs to diversify itself just from the food grain system to more balanced diet and minimizing food insecurity of vulnerable households. In last couple of years, government programs have shown that more including of pulses and other regional multinutrients have been added to the PDS system, but that needs to be further scaled up to larger level at the states level. COVID-19 induced income shocks are projected to adversely affect food and nutritional security of the households. And therefore, it further says that PDS diversification needs to be seen in this area. And then there's need to design effective nutritional interventions. Our food security programs are still based on food security aspect and not on the nutritional security aspects, and therefore more emphasis on nutritional interventions for a holistic food system and rural food environment is required to improve availability, affordability, and accessibility of the food. The fourth session was about markets and institutions, and Indian agriculture policies are still largely based towards cereal-based systems, and non-cereal-based systems need to be enhanced from the policy angle. And this supplements on the production side, on the consumption side, how PDS has to be expanded to the non-cereal rice-wheat system to be inclusive in the PDS system. Cooperative and government agencies working in the input market should be strengthened. So markets and institutions session included both in terms of prices on the input side and the output side. And therefore, in this context, financial institutions can play a very important role to supplement the changes that the reforms are proposing. Proper planning, collective action, localized marketing initiatives can further help in stabilizing the prices, especially during the crisis time. There were several papers who tried to touch upon the COVID-19 aspects, and that was something which could be seen in terms of the recommendations that how this crisis has helped researchers to think of how how these shocks can impact incomes and livelihoods and markets and prices. On the fertilizer side, definitely the fertilizer reforms, policy reforms have happened, but further there needs to reduce the imbalance in the NPK use ratio. There's a need to investigate further into factors to look into what impacts market infrastructure, product characterization, and market integration. The fifth technical session talked about sustainable agriculture and climate change. The papers in this session talked about how climatic conditions are still contributing to the production risk. So given all other constraints to the agricultural sector, climate change has created a production risk factor, which is an additional constraint that the agriculture sector is facing, and what are the appropriate strategies that need to be adopted for sustainable agriculture and livelihood. The NRM technologies, conservation agriculture, low water intensive and high value crop are recommended as way forward to improve the farm economy. Soil and water conservation through watershed development programs is equally important, and that too through local initiatives, through collective actions, and there were discussions around water user associations. Along with this, it is important that the farmers have the capacity building. Capacity building of the farmers is increased. There's incentivizing and also access to information to adopt climate smart agriculture technologies, precision agriculture, precision farming, and efficient use of resources. Bringing agriculture to the carbon market and developing mitigation mechanism is equally important, an area that needs to be thought in terms of climate policy. The sixth panel session was focusing on papers on technical efficiency and change. And it is said that the rationale that the input subsidy has more emphasis on public sector. Sorry, there's some mistyping over here. Public sector capital formation and investment in irrigation, transportation, and storage facilities much more important than input subsidies. And I'm sure, and we have heard this morning also that there needs to be to see is the impact of subsidies and investment and how it should be taken forward. Along with it, there's importance of timely availability of modern seeds, quality planting material, micronutrients, biofertilizers to enhance the yield potential. The demonstration of taking it to the farm, the demonstration of the new technologies help in technical efficiency of the farmers, and this is a part of contributing to their capacity building. Also, to building confidence among the farmers for adopting innovative methods and practices is very important to bridge the extension gap, and research and extension efforts should be prioritized to enhance productivity gains through efficient use of inputs and transfer of technologies to farmers. Besides these 6 technical sessions, parallel technical sessions, we had 2 distinguished lectures. The first one by Dr. Nagesh Kumar, and around 150 people, participants were there when his lecture was happening. He presented a 10-point agenda for cooperation, and I'm highlighting the 4 major of those agenda items. First, the cooperation for climate change. That he suggested that joint research and development, resource management, and monitoring information flow on climate smart agriculture should be done in the in cooperation between the nations, especially the SAARC nations. Then there's a need for a regional liberalization, because that helps to override the short-term demand and supply this mismatch, create opportunities for market expansion, price stabilization, improving diversity of food, availability of diverse diets. Then also sharing development experiences between the countries is equally important, because several countries are at a different stages of policy reforms, and therefore it is good to learn from each other mistakes and avoid those mistakes and adopt good practices. Partnerships between regional institutions across South Asia will help in capacity building jointly, both in terms of education and also in terms of research and development. Then the second distinguished lecture by Dr. Beena Agarwal talked about that there's a need for change the way that we farm, and therefore irrigation through groundwater recharge, rainwater harvesting, water regulations, and micro irrigation are important aspects to be looked into. There needs to be farming is much more than just crop sector, and we need to look into agroecological and natural practices. Institutional solutions like group farming, where farmers can pool resources, labor and share the cost and returns, has great potential to move forward. There's a lot of untapped potential in fisheries and forestry sector, which needs to be integrated. Therefore, an agriculture and allied sector integrative approach is required. There is a need to find synergies between agriculture and non-agriculture sector in the rural areas. And although mobile phone penetration has helped to increase access to information, but there's a further scope to strengthen the access to extension service in rural areas for both agriculture and allied sectors. Overall, the conference very clearly came out with the point that there's a need to change the narrative of agriculture with a focus towards diversification, remunerative prices, and market reforms. We need growth which is stable as well as inclusive. And I would like to thank all my reporters for helping me to put this synthesis together in a very short time, and also all the chair and co-chair of the different technical sessions and all the other plenary sessions to conduct these sessions very effectively. Thank you.
Thank you, Surabhi, for summarizing the recommendations of all the sessions that we had, and in a very excellent manner, I should say. I must thank you for this. Friends, I think now we are coming to almost an end of the 28th annual conference of AERA. After this session, you have only GB meeting, this morning itself. I am sure you enjoyed the online conference of 2020. Probably you will not get another chance to have this kind of conference, but anyway, as Dr. Joshi and others were mentioning this morning, that you can have a combination of both in future, both online and physical kind of presence, managing both. I could not attend the conference fully, especially yesterday I was missing. I had another very important, unavoidable meeting in the Ministry of Environment. I chair a committee there on, this is an expert appraisal committee for clearing in infrastructure projects. In fact, some very important projects came yesterday, including the Central Vista project. I don't know whether you know about it. In fact, all your Krishi Bhavan, Shastri Bhavan, Nirman Bhavan, Uddhag Bhavan, and Sena Bhavan, all these buildings, Vigyan Bhavan, all will be demolished very soon. And there will be a new secretariat building at a cost about 13,800 crores. And so that also came up for discussion yesterday, how they are going to do it. And there are some environmental issues, a lot of representations were there. So we had to take it up on priority basis. Even today, there is some discussion on this in the afternoon. So I think, I'm sorry I missed it, but still, I was happy that at least Surabhi has summarized the key findings and recommendations very nicely. So I think I benefited from this. Now, I think I can understand the richness of papers and discussions in various sessions already from this, summary presentations itself. In fact, I only take 2 or 3 minutes, not more than that, because already you are running late. There was a time when economists outside the ICRSU system used to think that agriculture economists know only farm management, economics, and nothing beyond that. And when even this AERA was to be set up or established, there were a lot of apprehensions from outside economists. And even when NCAP was to be established, several economists from outside the system, they said, no, what is the need for this? There is IEG, there is other institutions outside, so they will take care of the need for agriculture economics research. But sir, I think I must tell you all that you have proven your worth, and the way you have come up to this stage, I think it is commendable, tremendously appreciable, I think I should say. I must congratulate all of you for that matter. It is not one person's job, but I think we have come a long way to establish our credibility, credentials, and then the kind of worth that we have. Now, in fact, from that stage, we are now discussing the future of Indian agriculture in all its dimensions and the policy imperatives, and particularly some of the awardees papers, summary presentations, which Dr. Mrityunjay was sharing, Dr. Balaji, Dr. Nitasri, and then Devanathan. I think I cannot imagine we could have reached at this kind of a stage. At least they are just freshers in the system, and they are producing so much of good quality work. I think there lies the future of Indian agricultural economics, I should say, and also agricultural economy. I must congratulate all of them actually for their excellent work and keep it up. I think that is what we need from you, and also try to motivate others as a comrade to do more research jointly, combinedly, and then put up things in a way the whole country or the world needs from you. I personally feel happy that AERA, of which I was a founder member and did some donkey job along with Dr. Mrityunjay for its registration and other basics, has graduated to this level. In fact, I feel really happy because I could never imagine that this will be the kind of scenario today. I thank you all for your outstanding contribution for this achievement. Finally, I must say that without continuous and untiring effort of Dr. P. Kumar and Dr. Mrityunjay, probably this would not have happened. And now Dr. P.K. Joshi, with active support of Dr. Suresh Pal, Dr. Pratap Singh, Dr. Surabhi Mittal, and all of you, I think, I am sure you will reach a new height. I think I will not take much time for this. All the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Haq. Thanks a lot. First, for accepting our request on behalf of 1,000 members of the Agriculture Economics Research Association for accepting to preside over the conference. Thanks a lot. Your acceptance of for President Conference really is a source of inspiration and motivation for all of us. And as you rightly mentioned that you people were the founder members, and a lot of, as you said, donkey work was done. I'm really grateful to you, Dr. Pradyuman Kumar, Dr. Mrityunjay. Really, these are the people who put the foundation of this association, and it is flourishing. And I'm sure that our young professionals will take it to further next level and try to see that how it can become some sort of international association or international society. So you can see the kind of presentations were made during the conference. Really, it's very satisfying that the profession is in very, very good hands from the side of our young professionals. The whole conference was well organized. We are really grateful to University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore, especially the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and our organizing secretary, Dr. Siddhaya, and his entire team. It was organized so well. We never imagined that it will be organized in such a wonderful way. We never felt that we are sitting in our rooms. We are always thinking that we are sitting in the conference hall. So it was very well organized. The conference sessions were organized, just like we had in physical conference. So well. I do not have right words to express my thanks to entire team, and great support received from Dr. Surabhi. Without that, I don't think that it was possible in designing entire program and doing all sorts of preliminary activities. Really great to Dr. Siddhaya and Dr. Surabhi. You were marvelous. We owe to your great services for the conference. It was very productive conference, and new insights were presented during the conference, and the presentation made by Dr. Surabhi is a reflection that how good findings emerged during the last 2 days. So I do not have any other words than my sincere gratitude to you, thanks to you personally as well as from AERA side for presiding this conference. And we always look forward for your support to AERA. You people have nurtured it. You have shown the tree. You have, and then it's flourishing. So we look forward for your great support in future as well. Thank you so much. And now we will move towards next session, Surabhi, or we leave the meeting and go to.
We have a separate link for GB. So if
so everyone will move there.
Yes,
so
sir.
Friends, now we will have our general body meeting. So as directed by Dr. Surabhi, we will leave this meeting and we will go for another link. She has sent for annual general body meeting. Dr. Haq, you are welcome to join the AGM. Yeah, so you are also.
I think I will take leave. I have another meeting in the afternoon, so for that I need some kind of preparation. So
चलो ठीक है. Okay.
फिर मिलेंगे.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Join in the next meeting for sure, please.
Thank you.
So everyone is requested to join take the link of AGM, click there, and then come to this meeting. So after 5-6 minutes, we will start our meeting. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.